In recent times, the OSU staff started giving user titles to people for extraordinary achievements, such as GN for being the first person to FC Shotgun Symphony Plus in 8 years, and Trasuma for playing every single ranked OSU standard map. But there are some titles that have been given out for much smaller reasons that most of the community has never seen before, and I'm here to show you them and explain the story behind them. Now, before we start off, I'm not guaranteeing that you didn't know about all of these, but there are definitely some that you have never seen before. First things first, we have a user going by the name of Phil, which was one of Pepe's IRL friends and an early admin, with the user title simply being an inverted question mark. I am not sure why this was given out to him, but since they were friends IRL, I can assume that Phil might have asked Pepe for it, or might have even given it out to himself. Phil was a legendary forum user in the earliest OSU days, with people always talking about him and waiting for him to return once more to post a single message, then disappear once again. The next user title we'll be looking at is the Cool Dude user title. This was given out by Phil to people that he thought were cool. When I asked Pepe about it, he said that Phil was the one giving those away, and that he had nothing to do with it, and upon checking on a profile of a user going by Dereku, you can see that he has the user title, and by his forum post about it, he was the first person to ever receive it, and looks like he's the only person who got to keep it as well. Unfortunately, that was the only person who I could find with that user title, and if you know anyone else with it, feel free to leave their name or link in the comments. We'll go over a list of user titles that were given out to people who contributed to OSU in the early days, and done work such as creating art and music for the game. We'll start off with Luigi Han, going under the user title Resident Skinner for creating many new original skins for OSU when the feature was first added, including the first ever default skin and icon set for OSU. He created many skins such as the Pac-Man skin and many more, and his skinning expands to programs such as Winamp, with him creating and sharing many skins for it. Next to him, we have OSU Musicians, which were individuals who made music for OSU before the Featured Artist Initiative was a thing, and the two people who have those user titles are Sysmix and Necodex, both very known for making OSU theme songs. We also have the Featured Artist title, which is given out to every featured artist who has an account on the game, and examples would be Vinxis, Hellblind, and Dictate, but there are more. While on the topic of music, let's go back to 2016 when the first OSU Remix Contest was held, where the OSU theme song Circles was to be remixed by contenders for a chance to win OSU prizes. Binyam Moto came in first, and as well as winning other prizes, he also got the unique user title of OSU Mixer, still being the only person ever to receive that title. This next one could be considered a little bit controversial, and it's in regards to the Taiko Mascot Contest. Deadbeat announced the Taiko Art Contest in 2016 in order to get a new mascot for the game mode, and there were many submissions, but Indonesia's JMC was on top, netting the most votes and finishing number 1 in the contest. And this is where the issues start. Due to poor communication, the staff didn't tell the community that they were gonna have an internal vote to decide which mascot will be chosen, and that led to Flight choosing a non-winner entry as the new mascot, and made the JMC's victory completely irrelevant. Instead, they chose the 22nd best entry by Crovey, and reworked their entry into the Mocha we know today. However, JMC still received his rewards for his efforts, and among other items, he got the user title OSU Artist, which is still to this day the only time a user title was given out for winning an art competition, with another person getting it soon for their redesign of the Mania mascot, which at the time of the writing has not been decided yet. Now to go over the user titles awarded for feats performed in the game itself, whether it be a single score, a huge undertaking by a user, or a winner of a mapping competition, the staff had decided that they were worthy of user titles. First, we will start off with GN, the champion above champions. I've already covered the entire story of him getting the user title in this video here, but long story short, GN was the first person to ever FC Shotgun Symphony Plus without any mods, and he did it with perfect combo, awarding him his user title. Next up we have Trasuma, a player who spent years playing every single ranked map in OSU Standard, and for years of work he was awarded the first completionist user title. A user by the name of Jay, now name changed to Drum Decimator, has FC'd every single ranked map for Osu Taiko, and for his efforts they received the Drum Decimator user title. And last but not least, we have Osu Hall of Famers, a unique title received for big contributions and high ranked players of the past. In this category, there are only 3 people that I could find so far, those being Cyclone, James, and Saturas. Cyclone received his award for being one of the best players of the early Osu days, with amazing sight reading abilities and consistency that haven't been beaten to this day by the current top players. Next to his amazing in-game performance, he was a bat for a long period of time, and mapped a little bit as well. Next up we have James. James is hailed as the father of modern day mapping, with his unique style at the time pushing the mapping community out of the Innis mapping era, and helping the community progress in mapping styles and laying the foundations for the future generation of mappers, basically leading us to what mapping is today, or at least what it was until around 2016. Last one, but not the least important, is Saturas, who was another amazing player of the earliest Osu days, holding the number 1 spot for a long period of time and sometimes even going beyond that and being number 0, which was something of a meme back in the day. And to wrap up player accomplishments, the Osu Champion title is given out every year to the winning team of the Osu World Cup, and with the last year's winners being the USA, everyone within the team got the Osu Champion title. Now the interesting thing is that the titles are alternating ownership every year, so if the USA doesn't win this year, they will lose their title and the titles will go over to the winning team, so that adds just a little bit more inspiration to defend the title. Now over to the mapping user titles. The first person who received a user title for winning a mapping competition that I could find was M980, but as far as the news posts go, it was Kevin Sella, and from there on a lot of people would go on to grab the Elite Mapper title, both from the monthly beat map contests and Aspire contest, with the Aspire winners getting the Elite Mapper Aspirant title. The full list of everyone who had received such a title is too big to show, but some would go on to grab 2 of them, such as Kevin Sella and Charles445. Important to note is that Charles445 was the only person to win both a monthly mapping competition and an Aspire competition, giving him a unique user title of Elite Mapper 2 Aspirant. Weirdly enough, Charles' profile shows that he has 2 titles but Kevin Sella's doesn't, something I think should be fixed. For the storyboarding side of things, we have people like 11T, Damnay, and Excel with the Elite Storyboarder titles, which were given out by staff for storyboards that caught their eye for their quality and effort. This group of user titles that we are going to be looking at now aren't necessarily unknown, but they are definitely unique as there is almost no one besides the select few who have those titles, either for their work on Osu in the past or present, whether it be on the actual PC client or community projects and community moderating. The Osu Weekly editor user title was given away to NyQuil, who used to create Osu Weekly after Tasha and Tari, who were previous writers, retired. NyQuil has written a whopping 65 articles, and for that he gets his user title. Another unique user title would be Osu Painter, which is obtained by RBRat3 for making a lot of cool 3D and 2D Osu fan art, such as this cool 3D model of the current Osu logo. Another person to receive it was Balance, who made artwork for the early achievements. Now let's get to the staff titles, and honestly I feel like these are a huge mess. For example, these are all of the members of the Osu support team, however only Trusk has the user title, while everyone else has different titles for different stuff that they do besides handling Osu support teams. Which makes me think that if someone has multiple user titles, are they able to change which one they want there, or do they have to stick with the one they were given last? Next up we have the Osu team user title, which is totally unique to Ephemeral. My best assumption would be that he has it because he works on more than one project, while the other team members have specific roles for which they have gotten their own titles, such as Osu Dev, given out to those who either develop the game itself or the website side of things. There we have a few people such as Nanaya and Notbaka Neko that are developing the website, but there's also Nekodex, who is a web developer and a featured artist before the featured artist initiative was even a thing, so he has the Osu Musician user title. Last of the staff titles are also alumni titles given out to all the staff members of the past who have contributed in any way and have retired from their positions, allowing them to not be forgotten for the work they did. Before I wrap this video up, let's just go through some honorable mentions that I left out of this list. First thing, we have BanchoBot with the user title Woot Woot, which is pretty self-explanatory. And next to that, we have Zalius and Loctav's unique titles, Boats and Popcorn Fairy. I am unsure if these have been self-assigned, but seeing as they both were, or still are, active for a long period of time, it is safe to assume that they were, and I wasn't able to find any bigger meaning to their user titles. We also have Nats, Bats, BNs, and GMTs who all receive their respective user titles for the work they do. Last but not least, we have Noodles, an iPhone developer who helped develop the Osu game for iOS called Osu Stream, which is actively developed and maintained from 2011 to 2013. It also had some bug fixes up until 2015, with the last patch note having Pepe say that he hasn't given up on the game and he plans to have all the maps from the PC version downloadable and playable on iOS. Now of course, if you kept up with the news, you know that the new Osu Laser supersedes Osu Stream in every way with plans to bring it on both Android and iOS, so I wouldn't hold my breath about this game getting an update again anytime soon. And that's it. This video has been much longer than I anticipated, but I'm glad I was able to show all of the research I've done in order to find these user titles. I'm pretty sure that I missed some titles, so if you know some titles that I haven't mentioned, feel free to leave a link or their name in the comments below. And thanks to all of you for watching.